but it would have been 16-2 had they not had the power outage.
Right. I
That's
mean, another interesting note, these guys
be.
have been at least boot camping. I'd imagine they were boot camping back then. I think they've just continued to boot camp since, because we saw in the player camps after they got that last win. I mean, they were jumping up and down. Kinsey
was so wholesome.
Was having a good old time there, getting some hugs and stuff like that. So it was really good to see. I think it certainly brought a certain level of energy into this map right now. And like I said, coming into this one, all of this hard work, all of the time spent together as a team, every series, I feel like, witnessing the fruits of their labors. They're getting rewarded for all the work that they're doing.
I mean, if they win this series, they guarantee themselves a spot in South Europe land as well. Lucky, Jesus, chill. I'm trying to talk about rankings here. He's already taken 2 more heads to the tally. Celta another. That's 10-0. It's a 1v5 for Rainmaker to win this round. As no doubt shaking his head in disbelief. I'm shaking mine. I don't know what's happening here. Lucky's on a storm with Latic today, and Celta as well. It's the dynamic duo of Kenzie and Norway taking a well-deserved rest, a back seat, as Lackey finally punished. Egregious overextension there. As Rainmaker almost dies to a stray AWP bullet. Good lord. Oh no. Celta's got his number. He will fall, but Norway doesn't. Not a single save allowed for 500. As the unlimited money of Latic could afford to buy for the entire team if needs be.
Just storming through this one. Might be a quick nuke that we're witnessing, as we kind of anticipated, right? We talked about the vetoes here, and I think that they have a distinct veto advantage when it comes to getting this nuke map going. They are one of the strongest. And then you look at the future maps here, there's no overpass, so there's not this like incredible comfort pick for 500 back. But at least some comfort in the opening pick. That's been near non-existent. And they find another one. Ships able to extend up an advantage up to 2. Taking down Lackey, who's just been entering like a madman here. We'll see if they can recover from here on out.
Well, they've recovered from worse, a 2v5. Admittedly, that was against significantly weaker weaponry. But I think 500 should be allowed around on the board here. As Celta doesn't clear the close left, Norway does. The start of another 2v5, perhaps? I mean, we've seen crazier things today. Norway. Oh, he's getting cheeky with it here. Denny Slot. As a nade sail past him as Latic narrowly avoids the timing. They're so aware. They're so aware of a man being round the corner. Unfortunately for them, he's fallen far too far back for them to frag onto him. Regardless, time is ticking. The B-bomb site is awaiting, but there is a 2-man crossfire here that needs to be cleaned out first.
I think the numbers punched in though. A little bit of coverage, and oh no, Norway's found another kill.
Oh my
Latic
God.
extends. No way they lose this one. 2v5, like you said. Norway just pulled things back into a 1v2. He finds himself another kill. He picks up an up here. He has a chance. Last alive is Nicky, shaking in his boots. He throws a good molly right on top of Norway here. Hasn't tapped onto the bomb, hasn't stuck it. Now he finally is. It's a full 10 seconds though. He gets off of it. Norway, he's not biting on this. He knows it's a fake here. And there's still a full 10-second defuse that he has to get down range. He spots him on the jiggle. He goes wide, but there's not enough time to defuse. They've done it like that. Unbelievable.
Honestly, if Nicky sticks the bomb, he probably wins the round. Of course, he wasn't to know that, but Aurora, no way do they get 11 on the board in a row. This is just ridiculous. 500 are limping. They're walking wounded here. They can afford a buy. Not the strongest. Rainwaker's down to a deagle. Oh, I don't think they're even going to force up around it. It's going to be a half bite. As Aurora, they are flying through these rounds. What a clutch as well. Perfectly played by the youngsters again. As Kenzie, the hero of the previous map and the previous series. No doubt smiling to himself that his team have decided to wake up for the second series they played in a row. Celta, his position has been alerted to. He sits in a Molotov for a little too long. Let him cook, they say, on the 500 side, but they might have been doing a little too much backseat chefing, I suppose. I don't know what I'm talking about anymore, Extra. All I know is that Aurora, they lead 11-0, and I've not been pressed really at all yet by the likes of 500.
That's a fair statement. Another red by. They've been 2 lights out here. No way, Kinsey just walks away with 2 kills like that.
Oh dear.
Just so ready for the follow-up as well. It's incredibly impressive. Gets his smoke down as well. Rainwaker pops a shot off there. No fortune on the connection. There you go. Finally take down Kinsey. Well, he was one of the players down low. That's just a sacrifice here for some info. Further extended. Black is clearing out a lot of angles as well. He's taking a deep angle here versus Patrick, and that's so difficult to deal with. Mag 7 on the flank. Black hasn't spotted it, but one snipe comes through from the Mag 7. Quick trade to finish the job, and it's already 12 on the board. I don't know what's going on here. 500, they just can't find a way to win a round.
Bear in mind, sorry, this is 12 rounds on the T side, not the CT side. I've seen this happen before on CT, but this is absolutely ridiculous. I've run out of adjectives in my thesaurus to describe how bamboozling this current situation is. Maybe I'll get unshackled from my chair early today. My casting prison, as it has been for the past 3 days, is getting rather bad for one's back, as Ken's relieved his back won't be aching from the carry as Lackey another opening frag. Where do you go from here for 500? If this was Face It, I imagine it would be exclamation mark GG, because I wouldn't want to face any more of this Aurora tandem. They're speeding through. It's a speed run on Nuke. They could be going for our new CCT record of 26 minutes, I think it was.
Yeah, it's getting there. I would imagine. It's fast rounds as well, like you said. This is a speed run here as Kinsey extends favor towards that outer yard. Rainwaker has to have his head on a swivel. Good advantage on this peak here. He will nail it. Nice job from Rainwaker to keep things in check, but Nori trades as quick as can be there, and they spotted out Nikki. Patrick, he's kind of been confirmed earlier in the round here as he dances around the smoke in towards Vince. They still have the site confirmed now.
I like this though. They get the AWP to plant the bomb. No, they don't. I've lied to you. Doesn't matter who plants the bomb. Aki finds ahead of Patrick. Nikki gives up his position. It was Norway to punch with digits in. As Nikki is about to get punched in the spine by a... Oh, no, I've lied to you. Oh, Attic, he's fumbled. He's fluffed his lines. Norway, 1v1 here, Exner. Nikki pushing his way up towards the bomb site, but he gets decapitated. Aurora, they keep the flawless streak alive. 13-0 on their T side. The T side of Nuke. I sound like a town crier.
Even with the most uncomfortable whiff as well right there, it doesn't matter. They're still just closed out on 13-0. Again, it just looks like they can't find a round to save their lives here. 500. No matter how hard they try, no matter what things go their way, it's just not formulating. Aurora too strong right now. They will not look back.
Yeah, I'm still a little... I don't know what to say. No
way!
He lights them up! He knocks them down at the 3K entry, almost the 4th! Oh my god, it's gorgeous! This is art! Put this in the Louvre! Screw the Mona Lisa! A masterpiece on the T side from Aurora!
Yeah, they're setting their sights towards the next map here. They surely are not in this one mentally. It's been clear. I think that second 2v5 really told that fact. But this map's over. There's no question about it. Shelter on the Negev? No. He gets off it. No funny business, man. I thought we were going to see some funny business, some good times. They want the 16-0 probably a lot more than having a laugh right now.
Yeah, I mean,
They're
I
probably
would
still
too.
having a laugh, I feel.
The last time I saw a 16-0 on Nuke was Sangal versus E-Club Bruges in the first tournament I ever casted. That's a lie. The second tournament I ever casted on HLTV. It was back when Sangal was full Turkish. E-Club Bruges still had Richie playing for them, rather undefined. They were playing with Matty and Notice. It was 2021. Different time. 2 years ago almost. And I am more than ready to see another one here. As Lackey entries again.
That's an absolute beast here. It's back of Silo, though. Nice job from Nikki. Keep things contained. 2v4. They're routing right into Rainwaker here. An off angle. Close peek comes through. Rainwaker finds one, not two. ATTAX in a clutch. 1v4 in his own right here, but no luck. Dinslock's going to shut down the dream. It's going to be a 14-1 half here at the break. We will be going to a break, and once we come back, we're going to see Aurora close things out. Second half of play here. Coming right on up Aurora. Put themselves in that nice little position. I said that they were going to close things out. I'm almost certain of that. As they should have no trouble getting 2 rounds here in the defense. Dooley's up top and probably needs some 2 kills here. Selter does struggle a little bit. And maybe those 2 rounds won't come in the pistol because they've got the full sight control. But they also have a very quick flank. Being covered though. Patrick's got their back.
The chat is spamming comeback, and I'm starting to believe, Cole. This pistol does fall shy of expectations. 500. With those 2 rounds on the board, they would only need 12 more to equalize. A minuscule number. It's a lot smaller than 500. I don't know who I'm trying to ebb on here. Regardless, that will be a second on the board to the 500 boys. Lackey finds one on the exit for good measure. And the bomb radius is so tiny on Nuke, he continues to pursue into lobby. But will not find anything with his cheeky pre-fires.
With the saved armor, though, they'll actually get themselves onto some FAMASs, MP9s. So, despite not winning the round, it's a very effective purchase. CT sides played out super conservatively, but hey, get them that one round. Maybe they do have a comeback effort here. Kinsey avoiding the flames, 2 separate directions there. Surfing on top of the door. I don't know if you can get back up there. It looks like he was able to, though, so nicely done. Be able to assemble on top of the hut here very quickly, and 500 throwing a lot of utility early on in towards hut and on top of hut, kind of hinting that this would be an A-side execute, but they don't have to. They don't have to jump the gun too quickly. They have plenty of time.
Yeah, they've got time and an advantage on the 500 side. The weaponry and the utility stacks up quite nicely. Now, Chips as an individual was almost able to win with a lesser bias. Kenzie starts the fragging. Lackey does get waltzed on past. No flashbangs to give up their presence towards ramp. Nicely played there by 500, and this now should be their round. Seltzer. Oh no. Oh dearie me, dinks another. Nikki take it down very low, and Kenzie and Latic, I reckon they're going to give this one a crack. Latic ebbs his way through the vents. If he spins that corner and takes a pre-fire, Nikki could be in trouble here. Everything in tandem. Kenzie finds the spray. It's a 1v1 now. The position of the last remaining player is as yet unknown. Denny Slaw hides towards the top of ramp bomb. He's sort of planted for him, but with no defuse kit, Kenzie will scamper away. A valiant effort from the two youngsters, but 500 will find 3 on the board now.
Looks like they're on the same... So they're on the opposite side of the map, right? But it looks like they're in the same position on the mini-map right now. Which I found... It was actually super confusing at one point. I think I thought there was someone in the back of red box or something like that. And that wasn't the case. But right now we know. There was never going to be any sort of exits there. Kinsey is going to save onto his Galil, get a chance for 500 to do a little bit more damage, but... Can't imagine too much comes of this, right? Surely Aurora close things out anytime soon.
Yeah, you'd like to think so. This is another weaker buy, though. A half buy cut on him. Couple of upgraded pistols looking to do some damage, but it's Denny Slaw to deal the dirty in the opener. Back he falls. His entering ways have been put a stop to. It's not normally Lackey charging through as the front man, but it has been very enjoyable to watch on Nuke so far. Chips will enjoy that frag onto Kenzie. As Salter, another cheeky 5-7 steal, but he is also removed fairly fast. 2 versus 4. Shouldn't be too much else here for the Aurora boys, as the bomb site is now lost towards A. Good Molotov to prevent Latic from doing anything cheeky. And Norway has just a USP. Bomb has been planted. Only Ships knew there was a free eco-frag around the corner, as Patrick gets eco-fragged.
Latic as well, looking for more here. You don't want to continue to feed the beast.
Oh no,
and that's what they've just done.
Oh no.
Really not, right? Oh, swung that corner with fury, but he will get taken down eventually. And now Nori maybe looking for one more exit there to add to a tally. I gotta say here, depending on how much rounds 500 can get, I do feel like at the very least you're going to see some confidence build, right? If they could get like 8 or 9 rounds on this D side, which seems a bit unlikely, that would give them a better headspace heading into their map pick of Ancient.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, they're starting on the T side, presumably on Ancient as well. Which means there'll be a bit of continuation going over. I'll be able to feel a little bit more comfortable starting on the offensive side. Because apparently you sound like Tarek, according to our friends in chat.
Yeah, I get that a lot. That's... pretty common.
What? I'm good with faces, but now that, yeah, I can hear that. You're joining the ranks of Swedish Bill Clinton in my mental hall of fame.
I'll take it. Derek's got a nice voice.
He does. Gets a lot of viewers on stream as well. You bring in the NA crowd. You bring in the ASCA crew.
It'll be perfect. All I need to do is start streaming CS2.
You're
and
right.
I can be the biggest face.
I have a feeling that's going to break Twitch. Like, when Source 2 is added to CSGO, I have a feeling the Twitch category is going to hit 1 million. I really do.
Wow. It's going to be good. I'm excited.
Imagine if Valve add case drops to Twitch. Oh my god.
Have you seen the have you seen like all the people's wish list? What's on your wish list for CS2?
Oh, as in like, what do I want to come out of it?
Yeah.
Well, obviously I want to keep the skins, because otherwise I am in a lot of trouble. I've got more money in skins than I do in my bank account. And speaking of skins, why not
Oh, there
check
you
out
go.
our partners over at
Quick plug.
Hellcase?
Ah,
Yeah,
wow, you
there
nailed
we
it.
go. Yeah, use code CCT for a free 70% or a 10% deposit bonus when you first sign up. Or a top-up bonus with the same code. You can use that a couple of times, I do believe. Yeah, whilst at Hellcase, check out a wide variety of cases and upgrade games. Please do remember that case openings are still gambling, as is the upgrade software. So do not gamble if you're under the age of 18. Do not bet with more than you can afford to lose. Do not go chasing your losses, as it is simply not worth it, ladies and gents, as I am going to assume, because that round was not live, it is not 15 to Aurora. It will remain...
Map point.
Map point. Just giving it to them for free. The 500 are like, screw it. Just take it. You've embarrassed us now.
Yeah. Just get it done with. Get on Ancient. Yeah, I assume this one's going to be adjusted pretty quickly. But what else? You said skins transferred over. You nailed the plug.
All right.
Anything else? You get any other ideas?
Okay, skins transferred over. I mean, obviously, I want map creation to be significantly easier for the community.
Ooh, that's a really good one. I haven't heard that one before.
Yeah, like I'm not a map creator myself, but obviously I know a few map makers. I know how hard it is for them to get their creations to actually function in the current version of, I don't think it's called, I think the new version on Source 2 that you can work in for Half-Life Alyx is called Hammer, I think. So if they port that to CSGO, then the lives of map makers are going to become so much easier. And I can tell already that we're going to get some super cool creations. But one thing I would like them not to mess with too much is probably the graphics. Like, yes, tweak them a little bit, make them look a little bit cleaner, especially when it comes to like the darker tones of maps, so we can differentiate, for example, agent skins on Ancient a little bit better. So yeah, a bit more depth of color would be nice, but overall, I quite like the simplicity of CSGO. And I think it would be a little bit muddy initially for the competitive scene. If there was lots of reflective surfaces, it could get quite distracting. Yeah, either way. Better map making, not too much tweaking with the overall graphics, but making the depth of color a little bit nicer. And yeah, just I guess you could make my skins look a little bit flashier.
Fair enough. I said that
oh, and more operations and more maps, of course, but that's not source related.
I said that we needed to keep Vertigo and Dust 2 permanently in the map pool, never let them leave.
Keep Dust 2 and what?
Vertigo.
Okay, that's
two greatest maps right there. I said I guess these two teams wouldn't like that idea, but I would.
I have a feeling Aurora might like Dust 2.
They might like Dust 2. They will take that, but Vertigo, they stay away from that. I said no utility anymore. Get rid of that.
No utility.
At 128 tick lineups, they're way too easy, right? You know, if they're gonna port Source 2 matchmaking to 128 tick, then they gotta make it a little bit more difficult.
Just make it stupidly CT-sided.
Yeah, I posted this tweet as like a joke, and then someone replied to me with like the Valorant brim smoke set, and that was one of the funniest replies right there. But we're back into it here. We've talked up a storm. Very giddy about the news, but Aurora giddy to close this one out. Maybe not so much as we anticipated here. We do have a little bit of a fight back from 500.
Yeah, but how much of that fight will carry over into an actual comeback attempt here? It just seems so much of a bridge too far for Aurora here. We're talking Golden Gate levels of bridge at the moment. And extra, I don't think we're in San Francisco anymore as Latic catches Rainwaker. Trying something cheeky. 5v4 for the Aurora boys. They're just looking pristine. They let a couple of rounds slip. like a couple of small mistakes, but again, they were already 14-0 up. Like, how much can you really criticize them here? Nobody's perfect, but they almost were.
Right. That's the thing here. There's no criticism at all for Aurora. They built themselves up such an incredibly firm foundation on this T side that they have no worries at all. Opening advantage here too.
Yeah, it's just smooth sailing, really. Lackey. He's looking for another one, but it's Kenzie to double up. Of course it is. Why not? Let him sweat on the 500 side. The ships can't even find the back of Lackey. Denny Slaw 1v4 and Seltzer. He's already heard... oh, goodness, that was awkward, but he's already heard him. Gets the frag. 15-4, ladies and gentlemen. Not quite the 16-0 that we were all hoping for, but it's pretty damn good regardless. Definitely cannot complain.
Yeah, they did so much damage as well. And other rounds here, look at the buy that they have. It's going to be so poor. A couple Deagles, Tech 9s, Mac 10s in play. It's just not going to cut it here.
Also, if Valve don't bring in Operation when they port Source 2, I am going to be a little bit upset, because I miss wasting money on nothing more than grinding. As Kenzie grinds down the head of Patrick, Lackey finds another. Denny Slaw does reply with a P250, but Latic is there to cut off the backlines. And is that the bomb? That is the bomb. That's the worst case scenario. Ships has to go back out into a danger zone, but look at where the bomb is dropped. That's just brutal. It's a three-man crossfire, a hailfire of nades. Nicky, he's actually been pretty good, all things considered. 13 kills to his tally at a 15-4 scoreline, but with a Tech 9 and a Dream, I feel like we might be bidding goodbye to Nuke, because we are indeed. Celtic, great performance from him on an individual basis. As Aurora, they have 4 times the round as their Bulgarian opposition come the end of that map. And I must say, I have been coloured very impressed.
Now, how could you not be right there? Aurora coming in with a statement victory in that first map. Of course, their map pick here, but again, how dominant it was, it's a bit concerning here of what's to come, right? Because that was a simple, out tactics. Firepower was firing absolutely out of their minds there. Lackey with the injuries on that T side was doing incredible work. So don't really see a world where this is stopped, even if they hop into their map pick.
Yeah, I mean, it's not like it's the worst map in the world for Aurora either. Looking at their statistics again, they've got that 75% win rate. Their only loss was to Astralis, and I do think Astralis are in slightly better form than 500 at the moment, who almost lost 16-0. Now, I don't think there's much we can really break down there other than 500, not very good. Aurora, very nice. And on that note, my analytical genius... will put us through to a short break. We'll be right back in about 5 to 10 minutes, ladies and gents, with the map of Ancient. See you all then.
A very complicated job, but I love simple things so much. One move, one push. One touch. One love. One click. One X-bet. The hunger for glory feeds the desire, the courage to look for a challenge, to feed your ambitions. To reach for greatness. To become the champion of champions.
We are back here once again here. It's going to be the second map of play on Ancient as things looking far too well for Aurora in that first map. We'll see if they can come back here in the second, although I don't really know how in this game 500 are.
Mentally, probably not very at the moment, if I'm perfectly honest with you. They're going on to the T-side of Ancient too. And yes, Ancient is significantly more T-sided in recent times than it used to be. A 60% CT-sided rating when it came out in the top 30, compared to only a 51.8, I believe, at the moment. So, yeah, it's pretty competitive here. But I don't know if they have the mental fortitude to have a good, strong start on Ancient, especially when Aurora just looked this good. And Aurora, they don't they don't mind a T-side at all. I've forgotten what to say. They don't mind a CT side at all, is what I'm trying to spit out here, Cole. They look pretty good on it in previous occasions. It's not a map that they've been allowed to play too often, so maybe that lack of experience will slip them up a little bit. But again, when you have that much momentum behind you, when your top fraggers are going that wild, then you can reasonably expect this to be competitive for a 2-0 here.
Yeah, definitely have shaped up to try and establish that for sure. 500, obviously, they have to keep themselves in the game here, a whole lot more on the line. They're fighting for their lives now on their own map pick. As you can take a look at those 1xbet odds at the top of your screen. Very, very favored after that first map from Aurora. All the way back here. Like you said, though, CT side start could be promising. We're going to walk into an open A bomb site. No resistance here. Nobody ready in defense. No time being bought. And already, P250 things here. Lackey, one of the heavier hitters of that last map, taken down early.
Yeah, with that bomb plant going down, 500 can feel a lot more confident in themselves here. Nicky rips the head off of Kenzie, and Celta follows suit quite swiftly. Norway only good for a single frag. Vlatic is left in a 1v4, and I don't see him even going for this one, in all honesty. He's got armor. He may as well cling on to it. It's being rounded by ships in middle, though. There's very little opportunity for Latic to even escape here, but somehow he does find the timing. But I'm not sure if he remembers or not the radius of that bomb. He probably will die if he's this close. Needs to start sprinting a little bit as that bomb does go off. Oh, he just about survives with 20 HP for 500. Back to winning ways, which is a good sign for the Bulgarians here.
Yeah, really clean pistol right there comparatively to what they were able to bring to the table over on Nuke. Not a lot going their way. Of course, Force Spy immediately answered back here from Aurora. They've got themselves some 5.7 CZs here in play. A couple MP9s as well. So good investments coming through from Aurora, but 500 have a whole lot more at their disposal here, and they're looking to utilize that.
Kenzie to utilize his prowess early doors won't be happening as Latic and Lackey are the ones to frag instead. Patrick evens up the numbers, and despite the dink, Lackey's been left last alive in a 1 versus 3. Not looking too promising here. Might get given an opportunity to sniff the smoke, find a gap, but instead he decides to spam it. And would you look at this? Nowhere is safe as Rainmaker pressures the A bomb site, looks to slip into CT spawn. Lackey no longer has the time to go for this endeavor. Will he have the space to save is the next question on my mind, as he's slowly getting sandwiched. He's got a good game sense for it. Rainmaker doesn't actually want to give up anything further. Losing that AK would be costly despite the bomb plant and the round win. Otherwise, Aurora 0-2 down and a much slower start than the previous map.
This is very clean, comfortable start for 500. Definitely what they needed here. Again, they had 10 minutes or so to mentally reset themselves here for this map.
Pray to whatever god they needed to.
Yeah, for what they've been throwing at them over that last one. Just nothing going their way. 2-2 on 4 or 2v5 losses, I guess, in different occasions for them in that first map, which, if you don't have mental resiliency like that, it's enough to lose any game. And they definitely didn't have that in them, but maybe they have that enough to bring in some energy into this map.
I'd like to see them be able to afford an AWP as well. I don't know if we saw a single AWP purchase on the side of 500 in the previous map, as perhaps they didn't want to use one on Nuke. That's fair enough. It's a little hard to do so in some scenarios. But Lackey, oh my goodness, makes light work at the start of this round. The hero rifle doing bits, looking for more as Nicky spotted. Rainmaker, though, a double trade as Rainmaker puts 3 to bed in middle. Lackey, though, plays ahead of the flashbang. Needs to be careful, though, because if he goes down, this round crumbles. It's a 2v3 already. Denny Slaw rounds the corner, rounds the jaw of one, but not the second. Lackey's going to have to ace clutch this one if they want a chance at the round. Narrowly misses the timing as the bomb escapes on the back of Nicky over towards the A-bomb site.
Good plant here for CT spawn. They're just going to both join up here, so I feel like their odds on actually clutching this one does go down just a little bit. But Lackey doing great damage in a round like this, I think, is still, in a certain sense, mission accomplished. Moving forward. He's just going for this. There's probably not enough time to actually win it at this point, but again, you just want to find an extra kill. That was something that they were able to do so well in that first map. Even when they were losing CT rounds, they were doing a lot of damage on their way out of those. And in this occasion, Lackey, no fortune. But they'll still hold on to that AK for another round, and all is well.
Yeah, Lackey looking to have better successes. The team, or than the team whose sticker sits on the stock of his gun. Poor old DG didn't even qualify for the RMR, if I remember correctly. There's Exner, my NACS professional here. I feel like I do make fun of EG a little too often when I'm casting with you.
Even know
I mean, your very voice just reminds me of their failures.
I don't know what EG has to do with this game. They catching straights for no reason.
I mean, they had a sticker on
Yeah,
Lackey's
fair
gun.
enough. Fair enough. Maybe in.
I
Maybe
mean,
that's.
hey, we got a tech time out here. We can go for a bit of a history lesson, but I think one of the main reasons behind Entropic as an organization's collapse, outside of obviously, global issues, is they didn't make the second major. They made Stockholm. That was the big surprise, but then they faltered right at the finish line when trying to get to Antwerp. It was a very tumultuous period for the organization. The roster just wasn't working like it used to, which is a massive shame. You can go back through the days to EPG Family, to Windstrike if you look even further. Yeah, this Entropic roster had been around for so long, but as people have pointed out, its disassembly has been very beneficial for the Tier 1 scene, or well, more specifically, the Tier 1.5 scene, as one win and Aurora bag a couple of pieces before they expire, along with the team in Forza.
There's a little tech pause. I gotta say, not the best time for it. Here for 500, they finally got a little bit of momentum. As soon as they do, especially heading into the first gun round, they might get iced out a little bit here.
Oh, hello. We have been informed that you'll have to endure our faces a moment longer. Apologies for that. I have been informed that we've got a couple of tech issues going on. I believe that might be on our side, so apologies for the slowing of pace. Maybe it'll be enough for Aurora to come back into their winning ways. We'll have to wait and see. We'll see you all in just a couple of moments whilst we get the spanners out to fix this one up.
La livraison est maintenant offerte gratuitement sur l'appli McDo. Et elle vient avec 6 McCroquettes. La McLivraison aime les récompenses Mon McDo.
I'm like a slow jam on the right beats. Cut through dark like lightning. Lights, camera ready for that action. Cause baby, it's a look. It's a look.
It's game on with PokerStars. Meet your local competition. There's Ron, who loves to catch a game in between bites. Lisa, aka Blonde Girlie, always plays her winning hand.
I love those meals.
And with PokerStars, you've always got the best seat at the table.
Are you in?
When the whippoorwills call and the evening is nigh, I'm so happy in my blue heaven. Just take a turn to the right, you'll see a little white light. It'll lead you to my blue heaven.
Feel more in every moment. The Lexus NX series.
We've crash landed. I need to get you home.
Ready?
65 million years ago, the past met the future.
Run.
65, only in theaters Thursday.
The way we work has changed. The need for personal health insurance has not. Canada Life, 175 years of helping Canadians. Learn more about your health insurance options at canadalife.com.
Had no idea how close that one came down to. Absolutely shocking. 500. It looks like their bounce back has certainly come through. The mental's restored. They're getting their heads back in the game. Big time. Up 4-0 on the T side of Ancient. Slacky forced off a middle here. Good utility countered. Nice frag from Ships to open up proceedings.
Okay, Norway. Not one to be cut out of a round early doors. Finds a 1 dig in retaliation, but the weapon is smuggled away by Patrick. Nicely done. Don't want to be giving those Deagles anything more than they brought into the round. Norway waits patiently in towards the depths of cave. As gunfire rattles out. It's a slower pace here for 500. Don't want to walk into a stack of pistols, and I can understand why. They've been particularly pernickety today for the Aurora side. Mackenzie, on an individual level, not going to read too much into it 5 rounds into Ancient here, but he was a little slower on Nuke as well. Admittedly, his team were dominating. He wasn't really needed. But maybe that's cooled him down a little bit in the process. Norway, though, there's no cooling him off. Ships sunk swiftly. Rainmaker chimes back in for another. The bomb will be planted. Damage dealt by Latic, but Patrick thins the lines of the defenders. And this might well just be a save call here.
Still workable here. One very low on HPs. Seems like they're crunching their way in. Oh, no. Had no ammo. Rainmaker luckily able to trade things out. He's actually played hell of a round here in the back of sight. Gonna finish the job as well. Good stuff from Rainwaker. 9-0 for the guy here. 500. Firing away on all cylinders right now. And it's looking a lot like the start here of a nuke for Aurora. Things going so well.
16-0.
Maybe the fastest 3-map series. And the cards here.
Have you ever seen a 16-0 on Ancient before?
I've not. I don't think. I have seen like 14-1/2 pretty common when the map was pretty new. That was a fun time.
Yeah, I can't say I've seen many 16-0s in professional Counter-Strike, which is usually a good sign, in fairness. We've had a couple of open qualifier mishaps.
Yeah. Those are the ones where they really start to be frequent. Celta, though, making sure that 16-0 doesn't come through, at least hoping that his 2K entry right there is enough to avoid that reality. He's shut down the mid-prong of approach here with that quick 2K. I think it was good for the flicks there. He's going to shut down the other prong. Re-peeking, though. Don't want to go into Dennis Law's op, but they were walking in Nikki, rather's A1S, and now the bomb plant going to be insured here. Another kill comes through from Dennis Law. The chase is a little bit late.
Oh, no.
Oh my god. Nikki pulls off another frag.
I've got my not like this button ready as Nikki with the Glock takes down Lackey, leaving Latic. Oh, but Jesus, Latic. What a flick at a 1v2 now, 1v1. But look, and around the world from Dennis Lock here. Will this be read into? There's no kit on Latic. This might already be over. Denny edges his way through cave. Does Latic have the good mind to check it? He does, but he checks it a moment too late. Latic forced to fall away. Denny, will he cut him down on the exit? Yes, he will. And what a recovery there from 500. Celta's 2K entry was not enough.
Well, here we are. Look at the odds, how quickly they've changed.
Deary me.
My god. But that's a round that definitely reminds you of last map right there. 2-on-5 or well, yeah, what was it? Yeah, it was a 2-on-5 because the first kill came through from Latic on the entry up the ramp. So how familiar right there. 500 giving them a taste of their own medicine. That has to be such a good feeling for them. This is redemption. This is a chance to take some pride back in this series. And even more, right? Take that semi-final spot.
Yeah, that's the dream. 500 did it in EDC. They look to do it in CCT too. NZ waiting patiently. Let's go for a swing and actually finds the first onto Patrick. The spam doesn't net much though. Aurora, they are good at finding the openings. They're just not very good at keeping them out of advantages, as is very aptly demonstrated towards the top of B ramp. Yeah, that's a bit worrying. As Celta spams down through the smoke. To no avail, as by goodness he is lucky to still be alive. Rainwaker's in hot pursuit, but then he still catches him through a wall regardless. 7-0 for 500. As this seesaw of a best of 3 continues to shock and confuse.
Yeah, this is wild. There's going to be a hero up from Latic. He's gone down heavy investment here. And his teammates not so encouraged. He still should have 4th K at the end of this round, but you can tell the desperation setting in for Aurora to just stop the bleeding. With a buy like this, they just need a round on the board. But even, I don't even know if the op is like the easy solution, right? I mean, they've had opening picks, they've had first kills, but they haven't had the conversions that follow up.
I was going to say, Latic's been good. Some of the shots he's landed have been nothing short of sensational. When none of his teammates are there to really back him up. You start to ask the question of, how did we end up here? I certainly don't know the answer on this one. And it is quite shocking that Aurora can go from masterclass to being schooled in a matter of about 10 minutes. I'd love to see a bit of fight back from the Aurora side here, but I don't think this round will be the one to deliver. As 500 take mid-control, they look to split towards the A-bomb site. There's a 3-man stack from Aurora on B, but the AWP is at least in the right position to maybe set up onto Rainwaker. It's a nice trade. It's a 1v3 on the A-bomb site for now. And the flash doesn't do much, but the bomb has been planted, and they hunt in packs on the 500 side.
Nice shots right there. It's all consolation prize. This is a winning T side. Can lock that in for 500. The T side of Ancient. And they've done it in 8 rounds. That's all that was required here. Another rifle picked up there from Lackey. Another kill on the exit. Again, not really affecting too much. I guess their money is incredibly out of the picture, but it's not really about money, right? That's not a big factor anymore. What they need is rounds. They can't afford to lose anything else from this point on, I don't think.
But, Exner, have I missed a dossier somewhere? Because this is 2 games in a row, especially Nuke, that are typically relatively CT-sided, that have got off to flawless T-side starts. It was 14-0 to Aurora on Nuke on their T-side. It's now 8-0 to 500 on their T-side of Ancient. And it just doesn't make sense to me. Some of the rounds that they've lost as well have been frankly ridiculous, and Lackey bullied by Ships. The new timing's playing havoc with his game plan. Kenzie looking to be alive himself. What in tarnation is going on here? As Latic forced out of mid as well. They've gone for the double up setup. I'm not entirely sure if that's the correct solution. Delta was doing fairly well on his mid-entries, at least for a round or 2. I'm just a little shocked. I still don't quite know what to say with myself here. It's quite hard to cast games this dominant, especially when they're so back and forth. Latic, no! A centimetre further around the corner would have got him in a frag, but Ships now... Okay, Ships isn't going to trade it. Fair enough. Nicky might die as well because
don't peek
of it.
into it. Oh, he's flashing. Smoking. Safety. Confirmed, and now Ships has a chance to strike, but let him chamber in another bullet right there by walk peeking around the corner, and it's a bit awkward there. And this double up might be the solution, because so far it's got all 3 kills. And yeah, might just lock this one in. Finally a first here from Aurora. They've figured things out a little bit. Again, I would say 500 giving them that round a little bit more than anything by peeking into those angles dry. But nonetheless, it is finally a round after long last.
Yeah, it took them a little longer than I thought it would. But I'm still not particularly convinced for their prospects in the latter stages of this map. I mean, just looking at their past performances, they have a 60 CT round win percentage to only 46.5 on T. They've won 64% of their overall rounds played on this map on the CT side. And that is so far from a possibility now. And they've taken down some good opponents, don't get me wrong. Only in February they took down Mauser NXT. A little earlier, back in January, it was Harvu. But have Astralis really shaken them so much in the midst of all of that they're now 8-1 down on their CT side? I don't know where this is coming from quite from Aurora here. As I know there have been a couple of tweaks on the map, but not since they last performed well on it.
Definitely wild to see it this one-sided here. I don't know what's going on. Don't look like the same team. Some struggles certainly popping up here. I think simply just ran out of steam a little bit. But again, you know, all those percentages, they don't account for some of the firepower that these guys can bring out of nowhere. They can figure out the way to remanufacture what they were able to deliver over on Nuke. Our heads could quickly get back into this one for sure.
Yeah, they're not done fighting just yet, don't get me wrong, as Kenzie dodges a fight early doors in Jaguar, misses the Molotov as Lackey. Is he going to miss a timing here? Hugs the left side of the totem pole in Donut. Lackey keeps on dancing. Dips though, but a swift stop to that. But the lineup for Celta, almost the collateral. It's not quite going to land though. As a Molotov lands at his feet, Kenzie, how the hell has he not been spotted there? I'm talking pixels of difference as Nicky does eventually get his freebie. One round of respite for Aurora, straight back into losing ways as a double upset is forced to scamper. They can't afford to lose either of these two weapons, and if they do, it spells trouble. Already, the man coming in Nicky from the opposite side of the map. Good kill from Latic onto Ships there, but Nicky gets a freebie onto Celta. And as Latic spams through the smoke, is he actually going to push this too? He's being surrounded on all sides, falls through the smoke. Nicky bags the frag, and it's 3 left alive for 500 as they put their 9th up on the board.
Immediately responding, just not allowing for Aurora to gather themselves. 2 in a row. That was kind of what was needed, especially if they wanted to pressure that economy. That's still maintained for 500, and denying any sort of up save as well is icing on the cake there. Could have saved 2 if they were able to play their cards right, but still 1 op in play. Flashbang good for Lackey. This time able to get back to his opening proceedings here. Kenzie good for 1, but can't contain for the second.
Yeah, Aurora hang on to a man advantage. Shelter looks to extend, but it's a great trade from Rainwaker. Despite his low HP, we've seen what 500 can do at deficits, but Norway spins in for 2 and Denny Slaw 1v3. Let's make things significantly harder. Nade pulled, the double swing. There might still be a death there, but Norway body blocks. And Aurora find the second, but I'm still not feeling particularly confident behind this CT side. As yes, it was their T side on Nuke that netted them so much success, but that was also their own map pick and statistically their best in the pool. Ancient, far from it. They have a good win rate on a losing streak. 500 look to extend it.
See if they can do just that. Back out towards middle once again. Ships. He's been doing this play so frequently and has been punishing Aurora so much. Like you said, maybe the new changes catching them off guard, but it's been out for a while and they've played this map since, so some questions still arriving as Patrick gets peppered on through the smoke, but Denislaw's already in the back of Temple. That's a wake-up call there to Lackey. Didn't realize how fast they scaled up. Caught a little bit too lackadaisical there. And a 3v3. No one flanking, but attention split. There's 2 kits, a lot of utility, but they got to make the move on in quickly.
Yeah, time is low. Only 2 kits in play. Kenzie finds the opening pick, and Norway the second. There is now a firm chance of winning this one out, but Denny isolates the Jules, not quite fast enough. Celta taps the bomb, will be sticking it. 3rd on the board for Aurora as they get there in the nick of time. Very nice read say. Great stuff from Kenzie. Aurora, they find a foothold.
Excellent work being done on the retake right there, keeping the composure. Timeout actually called from 500, believe it or not. Only losing a couple of rounds in a row. Questioning whether or not they're going to go for the force buy or save here. And again, they're in that awkward position where if they go for a save here, they lose this round quite likely. They buy up in the next, they're going to be on a save for the last round. So some teams would elect to force buy here. And I think that's what they're going to do. They're going for the full investment. It's been a little bit delayed in the call, but you're starting to see the rest of the roster follow suit.
It might be a half buy.
Yeah.
Hero Galil half buy.
Sure. All right.
Yeah, I mean, whatever works. Go crazy.
Ships has been playing a really good game in the entries, so.
Yeah, make sure he has the rifle. Definitely understandable. I was going to say, it's a buy I see more and more commonly now towards the end of halves especially. And I'm here for it. If it works, it works. At least deal some economic damage with it.
Oof. Lackey just pulled the pin on this flank as soon as they retreated off the middle, so this might cause a certain bit of pressure. Smoke's already in. They're past this line here, but Kinley making a lot of noise and getting loud on this defense. He's done it all. 3 kills on the ramp right there, and no one's watching this. So free picks from Rainwaker there. Quick trade, yes, but that's a bit of a blind spot right there, considering.
Bit of a blunder, in the words of Henry G.
Oh, yeah.
As we saw that
Did
coming
we
out
hear any
again
blunders
recently.
in Central Europe?
Oh, we heard one, yeah. We had one in the finals.
There's a big blunder in the finals.
That's a very big blunder. Bad news Eagles from our previous series, losing to, what was it, a Glock and a defuse kit, I think? I've not seen an ninja defuse like that since Simple versus Complexity in, God, a Cologne or a Pro League from the online era. Ships, that's ridiculous. The smoke spam gets him a rifle. Swiftly traded by Norway, but still, it's the principle. Latic sticks to his principles, sticks to his guns, and sticks a 50 cal round in the body of an aggressor. Latic, he's so damn fast. And he's going to find another one whilst partially blinded. The young Orba really finding his stride in this one. And he's going to do it again. A 4K for Latic. That is obscenity.
Unreal right there. And Ships, I was kind of critical of his hero Tech 9 or hero Galilby 2 rounds prior there. Well, he found the entry. No one else was able to follow suit there. And I guess more so than anything, credit to Latic and what he was able to do on that op. Because the investment that they had, they could have done so much, but instead, they do get shut down right there. Double op though, once again. Aurora, and maybe 6 rounds is enough. I don't really think that's the case, but it's a little bit of confidence towards the tail end here. It's that little late half resurgence. I'm sure they would have wished they could have gotten something earlier on, but if you want to get something to add to your inventory, you can go and check out Hellcase. Use code CCT there. Of course, do be responsible. And be above the age of 18. All that being said, though, really important into the round half here.
Very vital round for Aurora to pick on up. They win this, they win a pistol, couple of conversions, they're right back into the swing of things. In with the motion of the ocean as Celta had the right idea, but hold on a minute, look towards A main for a moment. Rainwaker gets his head taken off by Lackey. A force forward. An unusual stint of aggression here from the CT side. It took them a while to start changing things up, but when they do, it works well. And Lackey, he spots even more presence in towards Donut. Calls Celta back to help him out. Does good damage to Denny, but Patrick trades the AWP though. Will it round the corner again? No, Ships denies. Big round here for 500. Man advantage and the lurker in Nikki waiting in mid.
Gonna close this one out. It's a huge momentum stopper for them.
Norway. Looks to maybe put a stop to the round, but I reckon it's already a bridge too far as Ships sails cleanly through Norway. It's 5 on the board for Aurora come the end of a half, but a gorgeous 10 on the T-stud of Ancient for the choosers in 500. Can they continue this stint on the defensive? We'll have to see after this short break.
We're back here. Look at those 1x bet odds close as 500 continue to impress. Second half looking very good for 500, especially as they hop into their CT side. But we'll see if they can finish the job here. Pistol round conversion would be a great way to kick things off as they all fight towards middle. 4 players. They're going to be in for a world of hurt here over on the Aurora camp, and they realize it, but they realize it now in the 3v5, and there's still a chance here for one frag to come through. Yeah, Nikki finds an extra kill there and extends the favor.
Yeah, they tap the bomb as Celta taps away at the retake and CTs, but Ships dives through a smoke. Denny Slaw follows through, and 500. They look to make an easy one out of this map. 11-5, a 6-round lead. 5 from closing out on their pick. And we could well be going to Mirage as our decider. An appropriate way to round out this series. As things continue to heat on up. It's been 2 very one-sided affairs across both maps as of yet. Aurora, no doubt, a little bit puffed out in this map. This is, of course, the 5th map in a row that they've been playing with no more than a 10-minute break in between. As Rainwaker, well, he breaks the entire offensive lineup down in about 5 bullets, and Lackey's left on a Glock in a 1v5. Not going to happen, as 500 do secure their 12th.
Quick and easy. Surprising stuff right here from 500 again. Just didn't really think they would have much of a chance here. Looking to really take this series a distance. Mirage would be a very fun way. I would hope Mirage would be a little bit more competitive than these first 2 maps as well, right?
I mean, I reckon it definitely would be.
Surely.
Yeah, surely. And then we'll just get another BNE HONORIS if... I want it to be competitive going round to round rather than streaky and messy across the board. As it's just been very, very streaky so far. 14 rounds of it in Nuke and 8 on the flip side on Ancient. Aurora do at least put 5 together at the end of their T-half, but still looking pretty damn good for 500. I reckon they might well have their own pick in the bag unless Aurora can pull something ridiculous out. And Norway, that's pretty ridiculous. He's got a $65,000 sticker on the stock of his AK there. As Nicky does ridiculous damage to Latic in response.
Definitely can afford to go for this bonus here. Making a lot of noise. They're kind of telegraphing just a little bit. My question is, what can Celter do on this lurk? It's going to be a lot onto him. So hear the rotation towards mid. Rainwaker could be a thorn on their side, but Lackey going to clear that one out. And he's back to his T-side entry. ATTAX, Norway helps out as well. A very difficult angle. There's a couple low HP bars. Kinsey offers up the trade as quickly as can be. And now 4v2 with the lurk left in towards mid. Norway going to collect another. And Patrick, not a big chance to do anything in this round.
Maybe I spoke too soon. Maybe Aurora do have some bite left in them on this second map. Patrick could pick up that A1S and just scamper away for the save. Instead, extends a little further forward, waits around the corner for one of the Aurora boys to waltz into his crosshairs. He picks up a sound cue. Not much he can do with it, though. There's Norway. Yeah, it's a lovely, clean round. Right to the forehead of Patrick. Making a round at 6 on the board. Half as many as 500 have posted. Let's see what else the Russian side can do against the Bulgarian lot. It's an opportunity for them to come back here if they win the next couple. Keep their gun rounds clean and keep the rounds against the pistols cleaner. 500 definitely aren't looking to let that happen with ease. It is a very long road to redemption for the Aurora boys here, Exner.
What a way to start. Up against full USPs here. Now this is 500 probably playing with a little bit of runway though, right? They can go for a save like this. They don't have to keep pressing on the gas. But sometimes, you know, once you have that relief, right? Once you finally start to string 2 rounds together, you know what it feels like to win again. Aurora can really take that feeling take it a mile here. So they want to scare him off. And Lackey certainly scared off of this Red Room aggression. Going to queue up a pretty fast-paced play towards the B site here. Shouldn't really fall into any more worries. AK is going to be saved from ships and aren't going to be likely converted by Aurora here. Like I said, you don't want to give these guys too much steam.
Yeah, well, we saw what happened when they got a boatload of steam in the previous map. 14-round streak on the T side. It's not something you see every day. It's something I've not seen since HONORIS versus... what's the face? 0-0 Prospect. Even then, that might be me misremembering, as I believe Overpass was HONORIS' map pick. Ships, though, picks off Latic in the save at least, but otherwise that's a 7th on the board to Aurora. My reminiscence, my musings, they mean nothing here and now. The past is in the past, as one of the frozen princesses once said. And 500 looked not to fall as flat as my puns.
It's okay. You know what you'll always have is the good closer there, the self-deprecation.
Thank you, I do try. Well, speaking of good closers, 500 need to get a move on. Aurora, they're slowly catching up.
Slowly, again, there's not too much worry setting in. Maybe if they lose this gun round, I can imagine Aurora were some fears in their heart here, but Rainwaker gonna deny that, at least towards middle. It's just looks like a straight aim duel taken by him, and he wants a whole lot more than just an aim duel. He wants to swing for the fences though, and now Nori, Selter, they have something to say back here in return. Site claimed by Nori, deep utility tossed in as well. They still have to worry about Patrick, but there you go. That's going to alleviate that stress here. Now, we start to talk about post plants. And a 3v3 evened out.
Yeah, time is starting to tick away. 500. I've just noticed they've not got a single defuse kit between them here. They had to make some sacrifices in order to bring out a full bite, and all of them not having kits is a real issue. Nice damage onto Kenzie, but it's not the frag, and that's the crucial piece of the puzzle with that not resulting in the kill. 500 are forced to fall away, and Aurora, they're starting to find their footing in these gun rounds here. Great entries. A clean sight hold come the end of it. Good util usage. It's all stacking up, and 500... well, they need to make sure they don't get stacked up a bomb, but oh dearie me, that's a costly bomb explosion. They forgot how prominent the radius was of that new bomb. All three go down, but Aurora do take the round with them. 12-8, as slowly they wriggle their way back into a competitive scoreline, but still 500, a heavy lead, looking to use another gun round to hopefully get that one step closer.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I wasn't too surprised that they died there. That bomb does a lot of damage. I think maybe they thought they were safe, but that's a really good way to close out a round there for 500. Even if you lose it, you still go down swinging.
Full A bombside execute. Chips is completely dispositioned. The Temple player is a little late. Norby, my god, the aggression from Norby. Characteristic, but it still impresses every time. 4v3 now as again Aurora a man advantage, a bomb plant, a site. At 500, they've been locked out. Simple as that.
Well, they're safe. This is what I mean here. You give these guys a single access into a round. And look how far they take it. I think this is a team that you have to keep pressing on the gas. You have to always pressure them with the forced buys and stuff like that, because Aurora now starting to pull things together here. They're starting to believe in themselves. They're starting to formulate this comeback very quickly. Nice exits again from ships. 3 more kills, make it a 4th. Not quite. Nori puts an into that 1v3 clutch, it says there at the bottom, but the easiest one of Nori's life right there.
Yeah, that's actually very detrimental to the T-side economy. If they lose this next round, they will have no money left. They got no money for an AWP on Latic either. They opt for util over Caliber. That's 500. Their own bank balance isn't perfect. They do still have a bit of loss bonus to prop them up. But it's Nikki on an MP9 here. There's actually, this is a bit of a swing round here, Cole. If Aurora win it, they keep the resurgence going. But if 500 win this, then Aurora, their economy is shot, and they're just one round away from from winning out the map. As I get interrupted by a hailfire in the kill feed. Massive start for 500 here. 4v2 as Aurora have a lot of patching up to do.
2-on-4 here. It's going to be very tricky to pull this one back, but a good molly. The bomb plant behind it. Taking so much damage through the smoke, though. That's so valuable. Continuing to fire down range. Nikki lands another shot. That's being called over because there's a player in the back of Temple saying, hey, you're hitting him. That's good info there, and he walks out right into the open arms of Ships, who finishes the job. Beautiful round from Ships. It's a continuation on his strong performance, and all of the exit kills that they've been finding over these last couple of rounds, well, that's truly going to cost Aurora here in the long run.
Yeah, 13 on the board for 500 now. Their little stint, it looked good. Their bomb plant means they'll have a little bit of spare money behind them, and oh my goodness, Aurora are right back in with another investment. Determined not to let 500 hit 14 before them. Lucky, a CZ helped him win a round against one win on Nuke. Let's see if it'll have the same effect on the T side here. Full buy for 500. The same can't quite be said for their opposition as well. A Tech 9 and a CZ, they're pretty good weapons, but when up against the likes of 3 AKs and 2 M4s, you do start to question things a little. Lucky pushes up to the smoke, but not quite through it just yet. The flash is actually very good. Nikki fully blinded, forced on back, as Aurora look to make B their playground after a couple of rounds of the opposite side.
Do have a slight bit of lacking presence here. Now the rotation's coming through from 500, but they're outside of the smokes looking in. So the post plant 5v5 here. This is a bold call from 500 to make. They've got a lot of retake utility, so that's not a big worry, but still it's going to be difficult to get back into this one. The post plant's already established from 500 and everyone kind of funneling through one direction.
And Celta does actually have util left. He expend the smoke, another grenade, 500. They might have left this one too late. They're stuck behind that wall. The smoke is perfectly placed utility. With what little Aurora had, the force buy might still come on through. Latty doubles up on the Tech 9. I don't know where that second frag came from. Lackey on the scene there, jumped through like a hero from Rainmaker. He's taking the DPs, but Celta denies with a Glock and Kenzie. I thought that was a Glock to find a long-range kill. Not quite. The bomb kills everybody else. Aurora, though, they find double digits and they are not done fighting yet. Another force buy to come on through. 500, the better economy here, but my God, how do they let that one slip through their fingers?
Well, that's just a simple case of just giving him way too much space there on B, right? You play the 5v5 post plant. That's something we don't see all that often on Ancient on the B bomb site. Typically, you actually will see it over towards A, but on the B bomb site, that is so shocking right there, and they will get the job done. Timeout called off the back of it. Of course, all 10 going down in the round here. Money a bit pressured for 500, but they might even be able to bring out a better purchase than Aurora have to offer, so they're not all that worried here. 500 feeling good, looking good to still pull things back even despite that lost round prior. As time starts to expire here, Lackey, the rest of his gang try and continue this comeback effort. It's going to be so labored. It's going to be so difficult. Down 5 to 10 in the first half here, but getting quick middle control established for 500. They've been consistent on this fact. Trying to take it from 2 different prongs here. Must need kill from Kenzie. Does get found. Selter spamming down range. Looks for another here. He will go through. And they sideswipe this mid control. Such an incredible start to this one. Dennis Law still holding about with his op. Looking to try and pull the advantage back in their favor. But in the meantime, Aurora have completely hit the brakes.
I mean, they've got a good foundational setup here. They're waiting for 500 to overextend again. Denislaw very much at risk of doing so. So it's not around the corner. This is not a very good time for the defense to be playing separately. Delta, does he spot the Orba? I don't think so. Delta's about to waltz straight into it, it seems. Oh no! Delta knew exactly what he was doing. That is a blinding frag onto Denislaw. Last alive is Nikki, completely dispositioned, cut out from the round. And that's going to be 11 to Aurora. Celta, huge round from him as an individual. 3 kills to Vitali. There's 500. They are in dangerous, dangerous territory here. A massive comeback attempt from Aurora here.
I can't believe they're able to stick around this long here. Full investment. Punished here, only saving of Hamas, and finally we might actually see a round where Aurora stay alive in it. They don't all fall, so that's even more of a silver lining. They're trying to get as far away as possible from that bomb. They know what it does. There we go, 11 on the board.
What the bomb radius is.
Yeah. They kind of snuck this update in. You know, everyone was making a big deal about the Inferno update, probably because Inferno is way more played, but
well, not really in the pros. Sort of, I suppose, but Ancient's definitely been cemented in the tier 2 scene for quite some time now.
In the tier 2 scene for sure. I feel like tier 1 is where you see that drop off in Ancient.
You got like FaZe, Outsiders, occasionally Na'Vi, and Liquid with their 7-map pool, but that's something we'll get back to in a moment. Ships, these two lying in a pool of blood in tandem with Rainwaker, but Lackey and Celta immediately spin the advantage back in their favor. By God, they're looking to equalize sooner rather than later. Nikki charges through the backlines of Temple. Actually, great kill onto Latic. 2v2, it makes it doable. Another Molotov to cut him off. So Lackey is spotted on the cross. Yes, he has seen both of them. And look at this from Denislaw.
Celta, he starts to become aware, but not in time. Denislaw is going to catch him in the meantime. Lackey, he's got himself, making noise right there in the back of Temple, and they completely fumble the round. 3v2, overextensions every which way right there, and that's going to cost them dearly. A chance to tie things up, like you had said, a chance to get closer and closer to that mark, but now they've just let that one slip right through their hands, and that could be the death punch right there. That could be the finishing blow from 500.
Of all the rounds to let slip past you, I did not expect that to be the one. 26 comes fast. As 500 are moving faster, they're edging it now. Darting towards this finish line. There's Aurora, my goodness. Continue to force their way forward. Number 26, they're at a 3-round deficit as Rainwaker takes a good bit of damage to start things off. Celta, I don't know how he's so good at getting these mid-frags, but he is. Finds another opener, but an opener is only so much. It's the closing of the round we need to see more of. That last round absolutely should have been an Aurora. Ooh, Aurora round every day as Kenzie chipped on down quite nastily by a cave bush. I'm mistaken, but there's plenty of it left as Patrick spins in for one Kenzie Swift trade, and Norway doubles up with him. Still a man advantage retained, but 500. Got Denislaw behind this smoke.
It's a bomb dropped here, but the trade comes through. Kenzie heard the scope right there. A sacrifice. We'll see if it's worthy, because Ships in the 1v3, and he has had one too many 3Ks for me not to believe in him right now. So very possible. 2 low HP bars, 1 very far removed. Oh, he just made noise. That's a confirmation right there, and they're going to beeline it in towards the A bomb site.
Yeah, bomb charges down as Ships. He's going to hear Celta here. Is it just a distraction, at least temporarily? Kenzie, not a chance in hell for you making that jump, my friend. His movement's significantly better than mine, but that's beside the point right now. Ships needs to get a move on and clear out some of these opposition players. Norway, Celta, they've got a crossfire, and I'm pretty sure Ships is predicting this. Does he realize it's a lost endeavor? I think he does as he edges his way out of the round. He gives up 12 to Aurora, and the Russian side are not done fighting just yet. Ships, almost a 30 bomb in regulation so far. Hard carrying this team, if I'm honest. Denny Slornicki and Rainwaker, Denny Slornicki and Patrick really not being anywhere near as useful as they need to be at this late stage of the game. Meaning that Aurora have been allowed within 2 yet again of 500 score.
Keeping things close, but again, you really wished if you were Aurora that you won that round 2 rounds ago. Because now it could have been tied up 13-all. This could have been your chance to take the lead. Instead, they delayed that process out by 1. And now timeout called, the last of 500. No more after this. Again, it's probably a discussion on what they want to do with the investment here. They should be able to get a pretty decent buy. There's 7K, I believe, on a Dinner's Law. And the rest can buy up quite comfortably. But now there's no more chances to call these timeouts.
We're in the end zone now. A lack of timeouts and a lack of room for error. Aurora, especially, cannot afford a single misstep as Lactic has been reafforded his big green. 500. Early util, as is customary, down towards B ramp here. E lane. Swiftly flooded by Aurora presence. Big nade onto Lactic. That's good damage onto Lackey too. As now onto the bomb site they creep.
Oh, this is so over right now. They gave him a smoke to crawl up like that. Unbelievable. Luckily, Patrick's able to pull things back, but still at the man deficit here. That FAMAS spray, a little too labor to get the job done right there from Nikki. Patrick locked out of the smoke. Stanislaw on the opposite side of the map right now. His bomb now gets planted. Some tough decisions ahead here as Patrick. I think we got his answer. They're going to concede another one here. It's going to be 13-14. And my God, Aurora keeping their heads in this game so strong. Can they continue? They're going to go for a bit of a hunt as well. You can see this long wrap coming through from Selter.
Celta might just be able to encapsulate the opposition here, but he realizes just how low their own economy is. A loss of his rifle would do a lot more harm than good, as Norway needs a drop so he can fully invest. Actually, I've misread the economic situation here. Aurora do actually have quite a lot of money off of that round win and bomb plant. 500 now. They do keep the AWP and M4 alive. There is still a chance for them in this one. Are they going to force up around it? Are they effectively going to be playing for an overtime? Aurora. Solid buy yet again. Bit of money up behind them here. As Latic builds up again towards the B ramp. Utility again expended. Latic peeks on in. It's an AWP boost though. Denny Slow gets an advantageous angle. And that's a big start for 500 here with their limited weaponry.
Oh, that's so perfect right there. Exactly what 500 needed. Some sort of trickery. And if you look at the teammates alongside him here, everyone else has very good firepower, right? 5.7 armor. Close range on a map like this here where you have so many different close angles, that can do a lot of damage. Much more than you would anticipate here. So this round it's just become a whole lot more winnable. Reposition strong. Stanislaw going to watch another one here. He's looking to take matters into his own hands. He's looking to close it out for his team right here and now.
He does at least reply, though, with an AWP of his own. Ships will fall, a prominent piece of the puzzle removed. Denied a 30 bomb at least in the 28th. Now only a single-man deficit, and with 2 players on pistols, maybe there's still an opportunity here. But Nicky, he's tucked in tightly on the close angle. Celta, will he be beckoned into this crossfire? He will, but he at least kills the first. As Patrick can't deal with Norway either.
Jeez.
They've somehow spun this back into their favor. They've got a bit of util as well. No, I tell a lie. Steady slow with the util. Yep. That nade could be a promising piece of the puzzle. Beats out an AWP shot. Can't deny the bomb, though. Edges its way into the open arms of Zelda. Does not expect it to be that far pushed up. Rainwaker. It's a 1v3 to deny an equalized scoreline, but it's not going to happen. It just has to be the AK save instead.
That's an incredibly heroic effort right there. Lackey, Nori, and Selter pulling that round back from the brink. Unbelievable. A 5v3. Denislaw did so much to give them that favor. They're left with their hands in their pockets. And they continue to kick the rock down the road here. Aurora. 14-14. And this is where they shine. This is where all the work that they put in, it's going to pay off, right? In these sort of pressured situations. This is what's won them so many games. It's maps like this. We just saw this in their last series.
Yeah, they got tenacity, that's for sure. They will play you to the final hurdle. And they will push you off the track if they have to in the process. 500. Clinging onto a lead here, as that is a brutal HE onto Celta. Lands perfectly, but Latic lands one perfectly onto Patrick. Underwhelming performance from him. A huge drop-off from the first half as he sits 13 in 20. Aki almost shoots Norway in the back of the head. That could have been a bit risky, but Rainwaker, an even bigger risk here, deals with Latic. Very lucky there for the side of Aurora that two of them aren't taken down. Rainwaker surges back towards Donut, as it is now a 2-2 split for both the T's and CTs at this late stage of the game. That was close. Denislaw almost given a freebie. But Aurora keep things even, at least for now.
Rainwaker, look at this commitment on the angle here. A huge liability. Lackey's been sharp on the entry, but now he's clotheslined in two. Rainwaker again. Looking to take matters into his own hands here. 24 kills for him. He does get silenced finally, but a 2-on-3. He's given his team the man advantage. Smoke and flash here. Ship still standing. Now he has his chance to grab the 30, but he reveals his position a little bit early. He's taking a lot of damage through that smoke. And a fake on the plant here. He continues to spam down range. It baits him out into the wide open.
30 seconds left to play with here. Norway and Kenzie, a dynamic duo. They've done this countless times before. No doubt Nicky and Denislaw really feeling the pressure here, but Denislaw doesn't even have the advantage. Kenzie, the game sense on this kid is ridiculous. The Molotov forces Nicky out, but it actually forces him into a duel with Norway. He wins it out and pulls a nade in the clutch. Oh no! One of the unwritten rules of Counter-Strike, never pull your nades in a clutch. Means Aurora, they've taken the lead. It's 15-14 extra.
He's done it again, Kenzie, in the all-important clutch right there. He has to play flawless. And it just might win them another game. This guy is unstoppable, an absolute beast. What more could you ask of anyone than a play like that to convert? Series point here to move on to the semis. Aurora. It'd just be a continuation on what they always do, isn't it? Shutting things down, getting the job done, winning another series. They're so familiar.
God, they're deadly even under pressure. In fact, that's probably when they're at their worst. Kenzie, Norway again, they open. Rainwaker, good damage on the response, but Latic, look at the aim, the confidence. These guys are younger than me, and still they play like they have a wealth of experience, years behind them. And they do, that's the scariest part. But at this professional level, so many of them so new to the scene. Latic coming from the VP Academy project. Kenzie and Norway, trained up by Jerry, one of the best in the CIS scene to ever do it. All comes to a head here as 500 are in a 2 versus 4. Denislaw, such a huge task on his hand as Ships
oh my
now needs
God.
not just a 30 bomb, but 33 on an MP9 to win out this game. In fact, not even win it out, keep them alive, and it's not going to happen. Kenzie swivels 16-14 to Aurora. Where the hell does this even come from, Cole?
Down 5-10. There was no business for Aurora getting their heads back in this game. They lost crucial rounds there, especially on that D side. They lost that eco. They kept their heads in it.